Hello and welcome to BIPL Season 4. I am so excited to finally get this event underway. It's been in the works for quite a while, mostly the last 2 days, but quite a while. I am joined here by the wonderful Ryan on my left. Yes. And
Yes. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to some more British and Irish Trackmania action. The last time that we had a British and Irish tournament was BIPC 3, which was immediately then followed by the appropriately named Encore. Um, and we have a familiar face in seeding. Some of you may know him as Epos, who obviously did not play in the previous edition of BIPL and is therefore having to come through seeding, but is doing a pretty good job so far, I would say.
well, yeah, he's topped for time attack stage of it. So the seeding is 30% time attack and 70% rounds. So he's topped the time attack phase, and I would be pretty shocked to not see him top rounds phase as well.
Yeah, would be a bit of a shock. Maybe I'll just go through the TA leaderboard quickly. I don't think we have a stream graphic for it, but Epos currently leading the way with combined PBs of 249.091, followed by Jaden 249.2. Then there's a bit of a gap back to Linksy on 249.6, then Eggy on 249.9, and then we have quite a few players in the low 250s. That's Bagels, Miles, Reno Fella, Koza, Octo, Liffey, Floyd, Steg, New Guy, all in the 250s. And then we have another bit of a gap to the 251s. We have UK Flames, Rebel, Kappa Riley, Genghis Khan, Adsad, Eli, Quibs, and players.
Sorry,
Oh
I
dear.
painted the wrong thing. Ignore me. Look, I'm getting it out way early. Anyway, we're into seeding.
We already have 8 players qualified, for 7 players qualified, sorry, for Division 1. The names of those players are, in seed order, Bosbez, Akros, Hendo, Wizzy, Jaffa Padawan, Neoruku, and Killian. But another 9 will be joining them, as decided by this TA and round seeding. And then the following 16 players will then go into Division 2, the remainder into Prospects.
Indeed. We are on round 1 of seeding. And it's looking pretty good for Epos so far. Not exactly a shock, he's gapped everyone else in this server by a half second. I think his closest competition is probably Jadon, who I don't believe is in this server. But it's kind of difficult to be able to cast and get an idea going on when there's multiple servers. But you can still look at time and be like, yeah, that's a very good time. Driving a 59.4 immediately.
Yeah, Epos has the world record here, and I believe he set it in the past 24 hours as well. That's a 58.958, so starting out driving about half a second off. Obviously, doesn't need to full send in seeding. Like, you know, if you had the likes of, I don't know, Boz, Wizzy, Hendo, Acros all seeding, then maybe Epos would push it a little bit harder to try and get that top spot. But I'd say he has no real competition here. I mean, Jaden obviously a very good player, but is he an Epos beater? Not quite yet, although he is improving rapidly. One of the players that I would say is most up and coming in the British and Irish Trackmania community. But we are on round 2, and once again, Epos streaking into the distance, but the field quite spread out. There does seem to be kind of a lot of mistakes happening. It's not you know, a very condensed field at the moment, although we see 3 Irish players in the top 5, top 4 even now as things stand.
Indeed. I do apologise for lack of name tags. I will try and get that sorted in a moment. I appear to have rebounded something else on my keyboard by accident. Oh, well done, me.
I can't
Yeah.
remember the shortcut for it, unfortunately. Wish I could help.
It's usually on Grave, but I've got that set to respawn at the moment. Don't question.
I think I rebound
No
mine
effort.
specifically to N for names.
That makes a lot of sense.
So we can't actually see the kind of live results of this this round seeding, unless we can, and there's a spreadsheet somewhere, but I'm not currently looking at it. but I think we can kind of see a clear top
Circuit Mania will
5 or
be
6 emerging.
updating semi-live.
Wait, we have an eCircuit Mania?
We have an eCircuit Mania. Yep.
Oh, I didn't. There was nothing there last night. Has that literally been last 24 hours?
Probably last 3 hours, and you'll be a bit closer. But yeah, we have ECM now.
Okay, great. I'll have a look at that after the seeding happens. Then.
Yeah, it's really hard to try and get a gauge of what any of it means. Well, results are still coming in, though. You know, it's putting EPOS top on this map, which I think is the surprise of absolutely no one.
Let me try and open that up real quick. Because that would be very helpful to be looking at. Because then I can maybe give you a good indication.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think it's worth trying to follow some of the people who are going to be on the cusp. I think one of these players is definitely Liffey. He
of Div 1, you mean?
Of Div 1, yeah. He's been in Div 1 on multiple occasions before. So, you know, he can be a Div 1 quality player, but he will need to do well. But he is...
He didn't take part in BIPC, but I think, yeah, has been, you know, like a kind of top 16, definitely top 20 player before.
Yeah. He's always kind of hung around that level. And he's a very consistent player. You know,
Yeah, you did say before we were live that his rounds is significantly better than his time attack, so he could jump up a few places today.
Yeah, I mean, the most extreme we ever saw from him was in the Irish Open Cup. I mean, that's a pretty good example right there, you know, coming second in this lobby is not bad at all for someone who I think was 10th in TA. But yeah, the Irish Open Cup for its first few seasons, kind of 50% time attack and 50% knockout rounds, and he won the knockout rounds so many times despite not being that high up on the time attack. It just suits him perfectly. So he tends to do quite well in round seeding. It definitely favors... You need pace, don't get me wrong, but consistency will help you a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the most important thing in the round seeding is just not crashing. Like, even if you're driving, I don't know, a second slower than your PB for 8 rounds, if you don't crash, then you'll kind of end up still around where you would end up if you drive like 2 insanely quick rounds and crash the next 6. Because it is weighted as far as I can remember. Like, your quickest round has a much higher rating than your slowest round, which I don't even think counts.
Yeah, your very slowest one doesn't
I don't know.
count.
I guess it's strategy. Like, if you feel like you've got an insane time in you in rounds, then you can push it. My strategy was always just to, like, drive safe, not crash, and drive within, like, a second of your PB. But, I don't know. Everyone's different. Everyone plays differently. Nice time from EPOS, by the way.
Yeah, very nice there. Low 59. 59.2.
Gonna need to pause, apparently. Oh, not during the round, okay.
Oh no. Have we had a server moment? That's
Might have to drive a few extra rounds. Possibly the server was not picking up at the start then. Unsure. What's a British and Irish tournament without technical difficulties, eh?
Oh, of course. Hey, it's best to have the technical difficulties now, so we don't get them later. Get them out of the way nice and early.
Yeah. I will say on the maps, by the way, really good. I mean, I only checked them out for the first time yesterday, but I would say the flow is really nice, especially this one, like the outside dirt turns. It's, you know, like classic mixed. Has a really nice feel to it.
Ooh.
I think maybe the only kind of one that I was like, oh my god, what did this mapper cook, was that Wet Wheels plastic bug slide at the start of Mimes map.
Yeah,
like, oh,
I don't know.
Okay, we're playing Trackmania World Tour, are we?
Yeah, you can tell that's an ex World Tour player. Sorry, I just noticed the title is completely wrong. Oh, well done, me.
Ah, for some reason, it's not recording times. Uh-oh.
Right. I might quite quickly throw back to cast cams while we see what's going on here.
Yeah, maybe.
This is...
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, we're going to see how that changes as I'm going to my key binding so I can actually toggle name tags to that. Do you have any predictions for the league overall? Who do you reckon is gonna
God.
take it? We got some good names in this one. We have Epos, Boz, Wizzy, all playing this time.
Yeah, I mean, Wizzy won BIPC, but then Boz went on to win Encore in one of the most insane matches I've ever seen in my life in any esport.
That was madness.
Yeah, but Epos obviously didn't play either, and I feel like now Epos is the one to beat, just because, you know, like, of how well he's done in World Tour. Like, I would say at this point he's considered one of the world's best, possibly top 5, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think that's a.
Whereas I don't
that's fair
think
claim.
from an international Trackmania perspective, like Boz and Wizzy are in that conversation. So in that way, I would say the Epos, but I don't know how pracked he is as well. He looks giga pracked, but he always looks giga pracked. Like, it's a case of if he enjoys the maps or not. If Epos has enjoyed the maps, then he'll put a ton of time in and probably takes the tournament. Boz as well, I think, is back on controller, and he played BIPC on controller and came second to Wizzy, then played Encore on mouse and obviously won that. So is Boz on controller now better than he was 3 months ago? Is another question that I have that remains to be answered.
Yeah, I
And
think
then,
he's
yeah,
still
I guess
on.
we talk about.
I don't know what
Go
Boz
on.
is actually using at the moment. If he's on
I
mouse
checked his
or
records yesterday, and it's definitely pad. Like the kind of tapping it's definitely pad. There's no like kind of smooth mouse movements. It's yeah, it definitely is pad.
interesting.
Unless he's just set those records a couple of days ago, and similarly to Encore, he's gone. You know what? I'm going back to mouse again. I guess we won't know until we see him play, which will probably be next week, because by my calculations, if Epos finishes the seeding in first, which seems to be the most likely outcome, then he will be playing Boz next week in match number 4, along with Killian and someone else who is yet to be decided. That would be seed 13. I think we're back live.
I think we are.
But
I'm just double checking.
I'm not sure if the rounds are counting or not.
Yep. That's good. Just
Okay,
gonna
so
wait to be
we're
sure.
fully starting from scratch again then. I think, yeah, Idol said, yes,
Yep.
rounds are live. So the first 8 rounds that we saw didn't count. 16 rounds being driven on this map, which is called Bottle of Water, by the way. That is the
it?
English pronunciation for bottle of water. So
Bottle of water?
exactly.
Bottle of water?
No. Water, Padster.
Water.
Water.
Water. We're saying the same word. I don't think what all this confusion is about. Anyway, we have, as much as this, you know, might be a new set of 8 rounds, it's still a familiar set of names up top. We have Epos leading the way, Liffy in the top 3 position, Gadugai having quite a good start here, and as I say that, we get the first caster curse
poor ending
of the tournament there. He has fallen fairly far to the back. That's not going to be great for his overall time attack. As I imagine,
just in a different league.
Yeah, Epos goes for another low 59. Well, no one else in the lobby can get sub 1 minute, but reasonable time from Liffy and Rebel there as well. Rena Fella won't be too annoyed either. They're all players who, you know, have a reasonable chance of, I think, making Division 1.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm not sure where Rebel is on the time attack. Yeah, Rebel's way down on the time attack. He's like 15th right now.
Huh.
2251.4. Which, if you compare that to someone like Liffey, 250.3. So he's a full second off in time attack, but at least on that round, seemed to have a really good one. But we'll see if he can keep it up. One to keep an eye on.
Right, we're going to play a little game here. Epos has crashed. Is he still going to win the round?
Has he?
Yeah, he clipped the outside dirt. Relatively half a second ahead already. But I think he... Oh, no, okay, maybe he doesn't win this one. He still could.
He still could.
2 crashes. Oh, I thought it was going to be free for a second. He really max risked for an outside dirt. That was pretty scary to watch.
Like, how does he find this time? He's driving the same lines.
Yeah, but it's just faster. He sets a time I'm sure he'll be very disappointed with, but it's still enough for second in this lobby. I'll give a mention to the Reno fella, though. Any round where you beat Epos has to feel like a good round as a player. Especially if, you know, you're just conceding you're a player who's trying to get into Div 1. I believe this is Reno fella's first proper competition as well, which is very exciting
Yeah,
to see
not
a new name
I'm
just
familiar
appear.
with. Yeah, there was Linksy as well, who I don't believe is in this lobby, but you informed me before we went live. Campaign Andy hasn't really touched comp yet, but is dipping his toes in the water and is actually, you know, fast. Currently 3rd in the time attack, and if he holds that position, would put him as 11th seed in Div 1. So, way to announce yourself to the competitive scene.
Yeah, I think he might have played in the latest season of EMC, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, a lot of new upcoming names, which is very exciting to see. It'd be nice to see a few more surprises came through. We got a bit last season with, you know, Josh coming through. He's sadly not playing this time around.
Insane last season.
Oh, that was not it, Epos. That is Epos's free round gone, I think, as he failed to finish here on bottle of water. Isel isn't going to finish, that's rough. Or does he make it? Yes, he does.
Yep, yeah, he did make it.
Avoid for DNF by a matter of a few temps there, I think.
Is it still that DNF gives you, like, the slowest time that's set in the lobby? Is that right?
I believe so. I think it's the
So
lowest time set of any one.
Yeah. Anyone that gets that DNFs then is going to get that, like, basically slowest time possible because he finished at the last millisecond.
Yeah, it's either that or it's just plus, like, timeout. Either way.
Yeah, yeah.
Rebel looking pretty good this time. Again, he's another player who I'd say probably better in rounds than in...
You're saying?
But anyway, Verino fella, I've got to do the opposite. He's having a terrible round currently. He's only beating Epos by like 2 attempts. Please don't have an incident. I can't cast against anyone else before the competition's even started, but he holds on. Another 59-9, just. And yeah, he's looking competitive.
I might say, actually, that Epos is looking quite human, if that makes sense.
More human than we've seen in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually infallible. And I mean, the first round he drove was literally half second within world record, and he's driven, I think, a 0.2 was the fastest we've seen, but we've definitely seen some slower rounds. There's another clip.
Yeah.
From Epos. I mean, it's just seeding, you know, I'm not going to read into it too much. He's still probably going to finish first overall, but does not look like his normal self.
I don't know, if there's a really consistent run from Jadon, I think it's possible. But admittedly, this is only one map. Sure. And it's done as you know, it's done as an average of your rank on each map. So even if he has one slightly worse map, if he wins the other 2, he'll be fine, realistically. Yeah. But yeah, we're seeing this kind of trio of Liffey, Reno fella, and Rebel up at front. They seem to be a really consistent batch. There's
Yeah,
always seems
Rebel
to be
is
at
having a
least two
really
of them
good
out there.
run.
Yeah. Oh, as Epos ends up going for the safe finish
And
there.
Reno fella. 102.8. Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice times from Rebel and Reno fella though. They look great at the moment. I would say, like, based on where Rebel's like time attack position was, I'd say that he is kind of looking like most improved so far in terms of the rounds. Hopefully, I'm not cursing him. But yeah, Epos has not looked his normal self. Obviously, plenty of pace in the bag. Holds the world record, which he set less than 24 hours ago. So, you know, he's obviously got that pace in him, but has just had a few little careless errors, which we would generally not associate with him at all.
Yeah, sure. I don't know, how seriously he's focused on seeding. I know I believe he's streaming right now, so he might just be having a chill time. Not worrying about it too much. But, yeah.
Wait, did he get a land bug then?
That looked very strange.
Yeah, it did look
He's still
strange.
leading somehow. After all that. As Liffey doesn't quite get the drift where he'd want it there. We can follow into the finish. We see a good round by Ganugo there. I've seen a few Northern Irish flags being flown in the chat, so bit of support for him there. I think Div 1 is probably out of reach for him, but he could go for a good performance in Div 2 this season.
Sorry, who are you talking about there?
Gnu guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think probably top of Div 2, or
Yeah.
like top 4 Div 2 is
Doable.
realistic. But last round here on Bottle of Water.
And this is one to forget for Gnu guy in particular. We will check in with the Reno fella, see how he's getting on. Still managing to stay in this leading pack. He has had a really, really good map in terms of pace and consistency. He just seemed to be there every single time, which is no small feat at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's felt like every round we've seen Epos out front with a couple of mistakes. Reno fella and Rebel, like, all driving really consistently. So great map for those three. I'm sure Epos probably would have wanted a little bit more, but he has been kind of at the top of this lobby. Sets a 59.2 to seal the deal, which is a time that has been eluding him on a couple of rounds, but just showing us that, you know, he is the top dog here, at least until he gets into Division 1 and then has Boz, Wizzy, Acros, Hendo as well to contend with. But we go on to map number 2.
We do. This will be Cheney.
Cheney. What I've been told.
That what we're going with?
But that's what Asa has said.
Yeah, so I would like to thank all the mappers for the amount of work they put into their maps. Absolutely brilliant. I don't want to thank them for what they've called their maps this season. I can't pronounce any of them. We got a very serious bottle of water, which me and Orion heavily seem to disagree on how to pronounce. You got Cheney, Cheyenne, whatever, and Fugila from Mime, which will be the last map here.
Does that mean something? Does it mean something in Japanese or Chinese, or is it just a reference? Is it like an anime reference?
I have no idea.
Unaware. Please chat, inform me what
the song
this
name
means. Is it? Is it like, it can't be K-pop, right? Is it K-pop? I don't know.
Where's the song from? Curiously.
We should have used it for the map intro.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
It's so old. No Trackmania community back in media was released in like 2010, to be honest. But
wait, that's old? God. I'm getting
no, I just mean knowing this community. 1996. Okay,
okay, that is kind of old.
Sure. Anyway, only a couple... Whatever. Anyway, only a couple of seconds left of warm-up here before we get into map number 2 here, the second part of seeding. And we'll see. Oh, 2 people taken out by the first corner. But it's the worst feeling as a player.
Yeah. I was going to say we'll see if the same protagonists from the first map are at the front in the second. And already, Liffey, Epos, Reno Fella, and Rebel are the current top 4. Kappa Riley moving into 4th place. Genghis Khan trying to challenge Rebel as well. And I think it's New Guy just behind him. So the pack's stretching out a little bit. I think someone put
again.
the CP there.
I think that was Epos.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was, because he is not in the lead.
Yeah, he's dropped back to 6th place in this one, about to get past Genghis Khan. Another new name. Always nice to see new people playing. Rebel goes absolutely flying there, and then we're going to see how many people get the no slide on this final drift here. No one. Okay, apparently that's just a personal skill issue.
You said that, because I played this map for the first time yesterday, and I was like, what is with this drift? Like, I'm steering and I'm braking, like it's just not doing anything. It's such a weird no slide. It just doesn't make sense. I'm glad that
you got to carry a lot of speed into it in my experience.
What, like 250 plus?
Yeah, about that. If I remember correctly.
It's like I got it eventually, but I was like, damn.
Caster skill issue? Yeah, that's why we're casting.
Yeah. Did you see how bad I was in BIPC after putting about 40 hours into the maps? Like, why do you think I'm speaking into a microphone right now and not playing?
I remember the last time I played the game, you know, it's Anyway, it is once again Reno Fella and Liffey at the front, Caparai as well, and I thought this is a very good round for the Irish. We ignore Epos up at the front. They've really stepped up for this edition. There's a lot of Irish names take part, which is really nice to see. Yep, good rounds coming out from Liffey, Reno Fella as well. Isa will be pretty happy with that, I imagine.
Yeah, Epos driving good times as well, within 4.5 tenths of world record.
Yeah, for reference, world record is by Jadon. 50.
Is it?
0.425.
No, it's Boz. 56.422.
I didn't have an... my bad. I did not have unregistered players on. Yep, he holds it by 3 thousandths over Jadon.
Yup. Good time. But Epos driving within half a second of world records, as we are accustomed to seeing. Oh, that's a big mistake there. I couldn't quite see who that was. But yeah, Epos streaking ahead. But it is the same 5-6 players. We've got New Guy, Liffey.
Atsad's up there.
Up there. I can't see Rebel in this round.
Yeah, well, one kind of new name up there is Atsad. There were a couple of good rounds for him on the previous map, but he is a Welsh player. I don't believe he's taken part in one of these events before, so nice to see him staying competitive with Pack. As, yeah, Epos just gapped everyone there. That's only 3/10 off world record. And is a second in front of anyone else in the lobby. This is...
God damn.
These are the kind of performances that I was expecting almost every round. So, yeah, the pace is definitely there. And if he is on slightly lower prac, he'll warm up coming into the maps.
I mean, Epos on tech? Who knew?
Like, there's no good British tech players who still play the game anymore. Like,
I mean, I guess you could say Pack.
Yeah, true.
Like, he is the British tech player, and the only one still.
I would question more than playing the game. He just kind of arrives with no context to the tournament and comes second in it and then moves on with his life, you know.
Yeah.
But very good round for Reno Fella and Liffey this time round. Staying in touching distance or even ahead of Epos right now for Reno Fella. I'm really excited. I would love to see him get Div 1. just based off his performance.
I
He's
think
looked so good.
I think it's definitely possible, right? Where was he in seeding? 7th. So
Yeah.
what is it? Top 9 go through, and I mean, even at this point, we're basically halfway through seeding here. We've played 12 rounds out of 24, and Reno Fella has been up there in probably 90% of them.
Yeah.
So
He's looked really, really.
even if the remaining half goes maybe not so well, I would say that he's kind of looking like he's going to be doing enough here. Would have to be pretty catastrophic at this point to throw it away. Obviously, we're not seeing the other half. So, you know, Octo and Koza and Miles, Bagels in the other server could be having the seeding of their lives, and we've been none the wiser to it. It will all be revealed afterwards. I mean, if you do want to go and check that out, then you can head on over to the second stream. But why would you want to do that? Because it's the best stream.
Obviously. There's going to be no rivalry here at all. Sure.
Absolutely not. But we're the best stream. Moving on. Same 5 again.
Ooh,
new guy,
down
never
4
mind.
now.
Liffy.
Yep, Rebel up there. Involve Renafella goes for the safe finish. I think he might have sent. Yeah.
Yeah, he made it in. He looked like he just full stopped for some reason. It looked more like a control at this.
Double slow-mo.
Ah, okay. That makes more sense. See, I was too good to take the safe in my map discovery, so I never, I wouldn't have known that.
I drove it quite a lot, to be honest. It's quite a nice one in that, like, if you suddenly realize the no slide isn't happening, you have time to bail.
Yeah, that's good.
And I get the feeling that's exactly what happened to Reno Fella there.
Yeah. Some maps, it's like no slide, insta death into wall, and safe in takes 5 seconds. I remember, it was Hoga, wasn't it, that if you like didn't have the speed after that last slide, you had to go up that hill with slow-mo on and slowly fall into the finish.
Oh, it was awful.
Disgusting map.
It was absolutely awful. Yeah, I was very much guilt-checked by that one.
I think I went into that safe in like 7 rounds out of 8 in seeding. It was not a good time.
I'll probably work out better for me trying to actually make it. To be honest.
God, EPOS 56.7.
Yeah.
That's some pace.
That's not even the first of them by any means. Only 2 rounds left here.
I'd say EPOS looks a lot more comfortable on this map. Had a few very uncharacteristic errors on Bottle of Water, but seems to have ironed them out now. I'm definitely cursing him here, but
well, we got to try and make it interesting, you know.
Yeah, he's driving within half a second of world record every round. He's back to normal EPOS. He's rebooted and is looking like himself again.
Yeah, no one has really been able to touch him on this map at all, as he is once again just so far ahead. He can just seem to gain just a little bit of time on every single corner compared to anyone else. And I imagine he'll make up a lot of this slide here as an easy place to lose time. As he does a 57-1. That's... Am I thinking... Do I have the wrong set?
No. Wrong way. World record's 56.4. So that was a lot slower than his previous.
Yeah, ignore me. Good casting there. Well done, me.
Okay. Last round then. Rebel saying he's had a horrible run on this map, so I'm going to spectate him and pray that he has a better one this time. Goes full inside. Interesting line. Loses speed, but it is roughly equal, I would say. And doesn't get too much airtime down the hill. So... decent start. Sends the plastic fully on the inside and gets a nice regrip there. Avoids the checkpoint. Decent drift as well. Takes the inside. Carries less speed through, but does move up into third place here. It's Reno Fella and Epos up the front. Oh, is that a clip,
Oh, it's
though?
an unfortunate place to
Just as
clip
he went
with the
onto the
engine
engine
off.
off. Oh, that's so sad. The tiniest of mistakes, but he's actually lost a chunk of time because of that. Really punishing.
Yeah, that's rough. Oh, Bulgaria crash. It's Reno Fella crashes. It's all falling apart for a lot of front players. Nope, Reno players having ping issues. He might just pop up into second out of nowhere. Or have his time deleted. It'll be one of two. That was very strange. Yeah, that wraps us out up here on map number 2.
What comes after map number 2?
Well, you would hope map number 3. And if it's not map number 3, it's suddenly my issue to try and fix, so it better be map number 3.
It is map number 3. Look at
It
that.
is! Yeah, this is a very interesting map. That's how I'm gonna say it. I feel like a lot of our packs, we have one funky one. One funky map, and it's usually whatever mine has built.
This is like the youngest child of the map pack.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good assessment. I think it's definitely a bit
map.
Marmite.
Don't get me wrong. I liked it. When I saw this, I don't know. Are we watching it or not?
No.
Are we on cams?
we
Okay,
are
right.
on cams.
When
It was for bug
when
slide.
I saw that, yeah, when I saw that bug slide, I was like, okay, the BIPC is stepping it up a gear here. I was like, how on earth are you going to do that consistently in rounds? But I mean, I tried it, and you know, you can. I watched world record first, obviously, and I guess it's semi-consistent. You just hold buttons down and then let go of them. It's not too bad, but in a mixed comp map, it's quite the addition. And I don't know if other people have struggled with this. I played this map for all of 10 minutes. I'll say that much, but the reactor section feels really difficult. Like your
I
car just
think
does not steer. Is there a lot of releasing, or is it full speed? Or braking?
I'm honestly not sure. I'm not going to claim that I was able to spot the perfect line around it, but I will confirm I think that is probably the hardest section of the map. Bug slide might be a bit more flashy, but yeah. This map, almost a complete opposite to Nina, which was kind of a very traditional map and not too difficult. This one has gone the other direction. It's tricky. It's full of funky stuff. This
Do you know what it also is though? Like when that's a no slide.
That has already gone wrong for people. No slides starting from the first corner.
When I watched world record on this map last night, which is held by Epos, I was just looking at it and I was like, if there was ever a map that is like peak Epos, it's this one. Like this has Epos written all over it because like I don't know, I've seen him drive like the Trackmania World Tour maps, and it kind of feels more like a World Tour map than a mixed comp map that we are kind of a bit more used to in BITM. And I think that's where Epos thrives. So if he's gonna beat the likes of Boz and Wizzy, I feel like this map is gonna be their kryptonite, and it's gonna be Epos's hunting ground.
Yeah, and he's looked pretty good already, winning first round by 3/10.
Half a second within world record. His own world record as well.
Yeah.
Which he holds by half a tenth over Boz.
Bad at all there as a first round for Epos there. Liffey with a very good time as well there. When you're only 3/10 off Epos, you take that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say top 4, just based on what I've seen, seems to be Epos, followed by I've forgotten his name, Reno Fella, then Liffey, and then probably Rebel, to be honest. Those 4 are the 4 that have stood out for me so far, with New Guy not too far behind in 5th. Adsad has had a few good rounds as well. And yeah, that kind of feels like the top 6 here. And we'll see how they stack up against the kind of counterparts in the other server once we get the seeding results through.
Yeah, I mean, there are some very strong names in the other server. mean, by process of elimination, all of seeds, all of people who finish 2nd to 6th in the time attack phase are in the other server. So,
Yeah.
Jadon,
This is
Lynxy,
true.
Eggy, Bagels, Miles, all there, and Octoid. Well, so yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much everyone in the like the 9 positions just from the time attack phase, isn't in this server except for Epos and Reno Fella. So that might have been helping Reno Fella look a little bit better, but I still think he's done well, and I hope he can manage to make Div 1. But I reckon it could be very tight.
Yeah, and I think this map will kind of be the decider, really, just because it's more challenging, it's more difficult, and to drive consistently, I feel like it's definitely the hardest of the 3. We will obviously be introducing a 4th map, which we have a reveal for at the end of today's stream. So nothing on that yet, but these are not the only 3 maps that will be featuring throughout the tournament. We will have another map that we will see next week. But for those who are unaware, timeline for today is finishing the seeding, and then we'll be streaming 1 match from Division 2, followed by 1 match from Division 1, which we already kind of have earmarked, really, just based on what we expect the seeding results to be. So we're looking at match number 4, which already has Acros and Killian in it. Seed 9, we're expecting to be Jaden, unless he has an absolute stinker in the other server, because Epos should be first in seeding. Nice. Love that.
As you said that, he drove into the wall. Great
Yep,
stuff.
I did see, but he still should be first in seeding. So we're expecting Jaden to come in 9th, which would put Jaden versus Acros and Killian versus the 11th seed, who not so sure on that one, but it should be a really competitive match. So that will be coming up starting at 9 o'clock, I believe, UK time.
Yeah, it might be a little
yeah,
delayed because we had a few teething issues with seeding at the start.
we did. That's true.
Oh,
Rebel.
2 people go flying there. Clipping that inside tire.
Nice time from Liffey, though.
Yeah.
What was Epos?
54
Epos wasn't even in the top 8 there. 2 seconds behind Liffey. Or 2 seconds plus.
Yeah, that was a pretty big mistake, I'm guessing we called him. I'll be intrigued to see where he does end up in the seeding phase. Like, he should still come first, but, I mean, it's hard to tell without seeing what Jadon's up to. I mean, all of you watching, you can go just open the other stream, if you won't keep an eye on that. But for now, it's a bit of an unknown to me.
I think it'll be close. Like, I was expecting, Epos just to absolutely dominate seeding, but I would say maybe 25% of rounds he's made a mistake. It might be less. It just feels like more. Maybe it's more like 20%. But some mistakes have been like wall clips half a second. Some have been like 2 seconds plus. But if Jaden is cooking something up in the other server and is like ultra consistent, then potentially he could take it. Because, I mean, he's not too far away in the time attack. Yeah, literally 3/10 in time attack, or 2/10 even, which is not a lot. So if he is actually kind of one-upped Epos in the rounds, then yeah, we might be looking at a Jaden winning seeding here.
Sure, he's another player who I think has improved a lot recently. Part of Shift, I believe, had a few very good performances over in EMC, as well as a very good run through the upper bracket in XP Evo. I think he got to top 16 in upper bracket, and I think finished top 24 overall.
I think he was 6th in BIPC as well, no? 6th, 5th, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah,
I don't think
he's having a really good year.
Yeah.
I should really remember this. There's been too
Yeah, I
many
should
BI.
remember it too. I
There's been too
casted
many. I probably produced it. It's been too many BIPC events. I can't keep track of them all now.
Nice time from New Guy, though. Has kind of been outside the top 6, but really puts a nice round together there and beats Epos. So fair play there. As we go on to our penultimate round of seeding now.
Jadon came 5th in.
Yep.
See?
Yeah, I was fairly certain that he didn't make the final, but I knew it was very close.
Have Riley briefly in the lead. He's an incredibly good player on the alt cars. Definitely come through playing them to begin with, but now.
Oh, so he's like OG.
I don't believe so. I think he just started playing the game and preferred the alt cars. But I honestly can't.
I thought you said old cars.
Oh no, alt cars.
Alt. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. You know, if this event was run on Snowcar, I would put him as favourite to win it.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see
Bang time
him.
for Epos, by the way.
Yeah, not bad at all, that. Good times from Liffey and Caporelli, though, to be so close to that. First good round. I'm so glad you got it on round 23 of 24. Good to see.
He didn't want to peak too early. It's a good strat.
Yeah. I don't want to peak a little earlier than this.
Maybe.
We once again have this quartet of Epos, Liffey, Reno, and Rebel up at the front.
Yeah, Rebel's been struggling a little bit more on this map. I've been spectating him for pretty much the entirety of this map, and just a few little mistakes have cost him about a second and a half, but definitely putting a better round together for the last one. So far, anyway, is within touching distance of Reno Fella. Does drop the gear on the outside, which, can you hold that gear? I can't remember. I don't remember. But
can't remember off the top of my head.
Driven a good round. He's driven a good round. 54-0 from Epos to end things out, and that is all she wrote for seeding.
That is
GG's well played.
Yeah.
Juno PB last round. Amazing.
Maybe a little later than you would have wanted it, but hey, it's why stuff is weighted. It should all be okay. So yeah, that is seeding all done on server 1. I think server 2 started a little ahead of us, so they might be done as well. I'm not sure when we're going to get results, to be honest. We'll have a look to see if anything has updated so far. That is hands of the people working behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm not seeing eCircuit Mania still looks the same to me.
Yeah, it hasn't updated. Not quite sure. Yeah, I think we are going to throw to break as we try to figure out. Well, we check for seeding results, make sure everything's gone well, and then yeah, we should be back with some actual proper matches. I don't want to commit to a period of time here. That's always a dangerous thing to do. I don't want to stick a timer up, you know.
We will be back.
We will
some point
be back
this evening.
Hopefully in not too long.